Buddy, this is Lamont Ellis, the acquisition manager. So we're inside of a CRM. I just recently switched over to the CRM a few weeks ago. I was looking for a CRM that allowed me to be more automated, but I wanted to keep that same Excel sheet feeling. The biggest thing that I would say I ran into again as a rookie, you just learn on the go is having the right tools in place. Again, I always say the biggest thing that taught me was having a system in place. This CRM, this smart suit, this would be a part of your system. This would be part of your organization, how you operate, how you handle leads. So right here, this is mine right here. So as you can see, we have a lot of them. We have a lot of them tagged. It's over 132. Now these are the leads I've recently worked over the last three to 4 months. Um, I've filtered them and then filtered them again. So just a quick overview. So again, we have them color coded just like in the Excel sheet. It's color coded. Again, they stand for the same thing: yellow, green, blue, red, orange. So they all it's the same colors. So as you can see, the biggest thing that I would say that you're going to run into with not using a CRM or not using this, it's hard for you to track your leads. It's hard for you to, again, this is a system problem. So for me, I started off on an Excel sheet, and it was a lot easier for me. It was easier for me to just operate on. The more seasoned I got, I started transitioning to CRMs, but I would rather just give my virtual assistants a CRM, and I just work off an Excel sheet. For the past couple of weeks, I've been using this CRM and really putting some money into it. Putting some money into it. Those who know me, I don't mind paying for something that's gonna help me, and I will definitely say that this has been a very worth it tool. That this is a game changer. This is one of those tools where I do it all the time. Say I'm on the phone, I just come right here and start searching up properties like like come in here, just start searching it up. Or you can filter out by like this tool is so cool. It's just I was just sitting here playing with it. You could just sit there and filter different things. So the follow up stage, we can go from green, warm leads. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to specifically focus on these. These are the leads that are warm we've spoken to, but we're missing information. We may be missing the numbers, the NOI. We may be missing purchase price. Say the purchase price wasn't disclosed, or say we had a problem with the property where we needed the owner to figure to confirm something. So that's what all these leads are. But again, these are just different quote unquote positions that your leads are in. If you're actively moving and actively working, you're going to have leads in every one of these sectors. You're going to have a bunch of leads in these sectors. That's the part of the game. It's the same thing I tell a lot of my newbie rookies. They don't be understanding it, and you got to kind of teach them like, no, this is a part of the game. Oh, I got to follow up. That's the part of it. That's why these things exist. It's so you can follow up with those people. But as a rookie, you don't know that because you're too busy chasing the money. You hear the money that you can make, but you not focused on the actual things that's gonna help you get there, like the skills, the journey, being able to talk, being able to communicate in a way that the broker will pick you and he'll want to consistently bring leads to you. That happened to me. I'm on the phone with a broker. He really like our structure. He like what we do. We came in. We serious. So if you could do that, it's a lot easier, for you to get deals. But you won't know that until your skin in the game, as the elders say. You gotta have some skin in the game. When they say skin in the game, I always equate it to two things. Either you need the money or you need the knowledge, or that the skin in the game. You need to be able to know. So for me, just by me constantly bringing shit to the table, I immediately get game instantly. Action is one of the biggest important things that you can have in this business. Action. I know a lot of people that they know it. Shout out to brother Newman. They know it, but action ain't they strong suit. They more of a strategic person. Hey, let me get a team right here. They more of that. Them doing it themselves, it ain't it. So again, action. I will say action is the thing that assisted me along this whole way, that proved me right when people thought I was wrong. Action has always been the same denominator that keep me getting up every single day. I remember when there was times I wanted to, why am I doing this? I'm talking to a seasoned vet, and he told me straight up, like, you sound like you know what you're talking about. It makes sense. You sound exactly like you know what you're talking about. If you work on this, like one of the biggest things was I had to learn how to sell. Like I had to, like, it's so many things that you gotta do. See, for me, I was taking the approach that my partner used to take. A deal will sell itself. And it will, if it's a good deal. Ultimately, the biggest issue is on the seller side. When you negotiating these deals, you got to learn how to get your point across. That's what I'm starting to, I'm realizing now, and it's looking good for you, boy, because now I know, like, hey, nah, this ain't gonna benefit us. We gotta come in with 50,000 on so and so. No, nah, that ain't a good deal because our cash flow at 5%. Nah, we need to get it up to 10 or 15 or walk. Which is why these CRMs are important. It's a property in here, and think the property was in Minneapolis. It was a good apartment deal. The issue was the realtor. No disrespect, the realtor. She wanted it her way. Hey, it's my way, and I'm like, no, like we comfortable doing your way, but the problem is our strategies just don't work your way. Essentially, what they were trying to do in Minnesota, they use a lot of contract for deeds. Investors like us, we really try to stay away from a contract for deed because our biggest goal, and I don't want to say it like this because it's going to label me, but it's the truth. A lot of these investors that would rather do a deed of sale. They either want to hold on to the deed, and at a period of time, if they know that hey, they it's like an exit strategy. If they know they may not purchase it on that fifth year, you'll sell the deed to somebody else that's willing to actually purchase it. So it's an escape clause. The issue is a lot of realtors, they want more protection and more leverage on the seller side. So for me, how to give you that leverage, okay, let's take the actual deed and let's wrap it up into a LLC or a trust. Exactly what Richard and Stephen preaches, one of the biggest things that they preach. Let's do it this way. And then now it looks like the actual trust or LLC owns the deed, and we're just operating the deed from there. So on paper, it would be structured differently, but the same thing. The issue is, again, as I stated previously, when you're dealing with people that they want it their way, they're not willing to look at any other way. So you got to let time do the talking. And that's why this is important. You have to let time do the homework, because it's like, hey, you get this all the time. And really all this is a big, really all it is a misunderstanding. And the most important thing is, I don't want to say it like this, but this is the only way to make it make sense. If you constantly on guard, it's going to be hard for you to look at an offer that's outside of your norm. I'm not saying what we do is outside the norm, because a lot of investors do it, but it's outside the traditional realtor norm. Sub tools, wraps. These is playing with LLCs and stuff. That's complicated. That's like a different territory to some, not all, to some. They it's like you're jumping through hoops with them because they like, I don't feel comfortable about this and I don't know. They've never experienced something like a sophisticated structure. That's essentially what this is. It's a sophisticated structure. Um, for you to fully understand it, you will have to explain it and walk yourself through it a few times for you to get it. But the structure that I was talking about in the Minneapolis one, it was just simple. All you're doing, you're still purchasing it, but you're not purchasing it from a contract for deed perspective. You're purchasing it from a trust perspective. So let's move the deed into the trust. Let's move the deed into the trust. Now we move the deed to the trust. We good. If there's debt on the property, now we're going to still evaluate the property. Keep in mind, all this is evaluating. So we're still going to evaluate the property. If there's debt on the property, now we need to evaluate it and see, does it make sense to take over the debt, not assume the debt. We don't want to assume, take over the debt, or does it make sense to pay off the debt? Sometimes it makes sense to take over the debt. What do I mean by take over? Do a sub to. I don't like doing sub twos, but again, it's like an exit strategy. These are just different levers that you can pull and different things. As you are an investor, you're going to start to learn these different tricks and these different things. That's why I said this is different from a realtor, from a retail perspective. This is a lot different. Those who've had experience with investors, or spent some time around that atmosphere, they already know. They ain't gonna know everything. I don't know everything, but they know. But tomorrow we're gonna work on these yellows. We want to get some of these yellows to green. We want to get some of these greens to blues, and we want to go on and go on and go on. But this is my new CRM. This is the biggest thing. I like the CRM. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all the most important thing. I didn't even have to build this motherfucker. I like the CRM because it got an AI tool in it. So I told it what I wanted. I told them, how my structure was set up on Google Sheets, and I said I want it just like that, color coded. I wanted to be able to track it just like this. The only thing I will add to this um, is a way for me to I actually forgot. I'll look at it later. I forgot what it was. But this is a good tool. It's a very good tool. It's worth it. Um, the actual cost of it, I gotta find it again. I think I'm gonna switch to the annual plan because I like this and I would keep using this. It's not really a oops. It's not a it's not something outrageous. It's actually affordable. I will say though, I will say when I first seen the price, I got really irritated because I was like, man, hold on. You'll see what I'm talking about. So okay, they hit you with this, right? It's not really that. So this is what it is. That's why I got irritated because it's not really that. That's not that's not the price. That is not the price. This is the price. Oh shit, it logged me in. God damn it. I'm trying to look at the price. But that's not the price. The price is like $40. I said, damn, I ain't tripping about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the annual. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I gotta spend a little bit more time on this tool. Okay. So $45. That's what you get billed monthly. This is the second one. This is what you get billed monthly. If you switch over to annual, you gotta times it times 12. Whatever that is times 12, that's what you get billed annual. But I think they make you pay extra. I don't remember. It make for me personally, it makes sense to, yeah, they make you pay extra. So that's why I was hesitant at first because they make you pay extra. They did give me a discount because I'm already with them, so I could upgrade for $391. I would circle back on this one. That's actually cheap. I actually might do that. I'm gonna circle back on that. I'm one of the people. See, look, there my eyes go. But I'm one of the people where I'm very frugal. Some people would say cheap, but my best friend he was like, "Don't say cheap. You just frugal, man." For me, it has to make financial sense, and this makes financial sense to purchase this, which is why I'm even debating on it. The issue for me is I don't like to spend money unless I have to. Then for me, this is something where it's like I'm cool with the monthly payment. It ain't really, but I understand in a long way it's gonna save me more money. That's why I'm actually still debating on it because smart wise I do it, and that's what I'm thinking about. I might make that move either yeah at the end of the month. We could do that. Wait, come back, switch tables over definitely. But for me, having a CRM that you can work off of, uh, excuse me, you can work off of, and you can consistently just keep doing it. Oh man, the CRM is like the CRM is like your memory card. It's like your bank. It's like it's how you get A's and B's. It keeps you managed. You know what I mean? This was something I didn't have for years. Again, I still got a bunch of leads that why I haven't put it in this because where it go. So it tells me I don't know how to pull it up, but it tells me how much space I have. I don't know how to pull it up, but this is a tool that I would definitely say um, it's a getter. It's an important need. This is what it looks like in the inside. Let's go to one of these gray leads. Oops, I just accidentally clicked that. Sorry about that, guys. So this is what it looks like. Come here, LOI sent. And then we look right here. So no answer. Is he ducking me? So I would come right here and say follow up, and then let it send of intent. Hit that. Which buyers is going to? I think Steven, but I'm not for sure. The buying method, seller financing, and how did I find this lead? I don't remember. I have to look at it. But that's how we track our stuff. It makes it easier for us to track. So you come in and operate. All right, guys. Have a nice day.